Yeah, I think we need to build on our successes. We've created a pretty nice community here. We've been able to keep the hometown feel for a long time during some challenging times. So I think the major goal is to continue how the quality of life, how people and residents and businesses have been able to enjoy for a while. And as towns get older and as funding and infrastructure gets older and slimmer, it's a little more difficult to maintain that. You're talking about a town that's blossomed from 5,000 residents to almost 16,000 now, and you're still trying to maintain the hometown feel with a major highway right down the middle of it. I think that, I've had a snapshot of the town from my seat for the last 25 years, and what I really want to do is get a snapshot from the other departments and get a real good opportunity of what their day-to-day operations look like. I don't want to draw a conclusion from where I was at because it's not apples to apples. So my hope is to really dive into that, walk a day in the footsteps of the department heads of each department and see exactly what their priorities are and what their needs are to keep the town moving in the right direction. So moving ahead, as we actually fulfill the master plan for the town, there's not that many open spaces left. There's not too many areas to develop subdivisions. So we really got to fine tune what's left. And I think moving ahead for the 5-year mark, you're looking at filling in the open spaces in the business district with some businesses that are unique. You hear the cry all the time of, we want this type business or we want that type business, but Dyer's kind of prided itself on having businesses that are unique to our area and not just the same ones over and over again. We have some great one-off restaurants that people are making it a destination stop for. Central Park, as it becomes complete and able to fulfill many different needs for residents between soccer, baseball, softball, open spaces for any kind of activities. What we hope to see is that becomes a destination park, so then it will then support all the businesses around it, which is the main chunk of land left for us, Calumet Avenue. I do like being out in the community. I kind of enjoyed being with the residents, national night outs, the fests, the events, and I want to continue that in this position. I think it's important for a town manager to be out with the residents and kind of hear their opinions of it. I'm looking forward to hosting similar things that the police and fire do and teaming up with them. I mean, there's no reason that we can't have an event at each one of those facilities and have a town manager or be represented at one of these events and be open for the public for questions. One thing I learned in the police business is you're not going to make everybody happy, but you have to have some kind of answer, and you have to stick by that answer that you're doing it for the right reasons. And at the end of the day, you're hoping a very large percentage of you buy into what you're doing and the successes that you bring. I think one of the big things is if we have a problem on the streets or street construction going on or an intersection issue, I think one of the very important things is that as town manager, I'll be out there, I'll be talking to the residents, I'll be getting it firsthand, and hopefully they'll be getting some of the information back firsthand so that it doesn't lend to, well, I heard this from my neighbor or I saw this on social media. We want to get out there in front of it. We want to put it out there. Like I said, one thing with the streets is everybody's like, when is my street going to be done? And I think as long as we tell them when it's going to be done and why it's not being done right now, kind of lends to more of an acceptance of the answer. And I think that's kind of what one of my strong points is. I'm continuing a strong path that previous town manager DeGilio put forth. Very strong financial person and infrastructure, and he's got us going in the right direction. And I look forward to bringing my community ties and taking it to the next level, building on that. It's something to be said when my entire existence in life has been in this town. I played for the youth sports. I went to the schools in this town. I've been up and down every street. As a teenager, I delivered pizzas on the street. Then I moved on to the fire department and police department. So I kind of have firsthand knowledge of a lot of the streets' ages, a lot of the neighborhoods, and a lot of issues going on. So I'm really looking forward to building, on those strong points and continuing it over here at the town manager side. One of the things that we're also very excited for is transitioning into the new public safety building. It's at Central Park. It houses police, fire, and parks. It's mainly for the fire department, but it does have some extra room in there for the police and the parks, which helps those departments out to kind of spread out a little bit. Demolition is currently ongoing of the old fire station number 2. It started over the weekend. It should be wrapped up by the end of this week. And the plan to just level that, make it some green space, and the town still needs to make a decision on what the future looks like for that property. Excavations being done for the new Chipotle on Route 30. That's the huge social media buzz of, you know, what are the bulldozers digging on Route 30. So it's Chipotle, and that's started this week, and it looks like the excavation is almost wrapped up. And one thing I noticed about Chipotle, usually other franchises follow. So there's some open spaces right around there. I would have to say we're going to see some activity on that area pretty quickly. Like I said, I'm very excited to be given this opportunity, and I think one of the things is the residents should know we're here. We'll answer questions. There's no dumb question, and I think, you know, the town workers are top shelf, and they're going to continue to work for the residents.